Hello and welcome to what looks like Narnia at the moment. This is a bit different for Suffolk. Don't think they get an awful lot of snow normally. But it's very pretty and the sun's out. Getting a little bored of not riding now, but hopefully not too long. Horses are out in the little paddocks today because it was a bit icy down the field where they normally go. As you can see, they're happy enough. Very lucky things getting out. Not all horses are getting out at the moment, I'm sure. But yeah, we've had quite a lot of snow. A few inches. And it does get a little bit boring after a while when you can't ride, and it's a problem with the horses with shoes. Mine's got shoes on all round and she'll get ice build up in stilts as she goes along, but with the ground soft underneath, it's not too much of a problem. I just wouldn't like to go in the school at the moment, as that's rock solid, and then we'll end up with obviously an injury, which I don't want. So we'll take it easy, but hopefully it won't be too long. And yeah, it looks very pretty, but you can't do a lot with it, can you? I just thought I'd stand up here to show how, I'll zoom in a little bit, you can vaguely see the dressage arena that I laid out the other day. Can't quite see the boards, or just to the tops of them. So yeah, haven't had much chance to practice that, but hopefully soon. So we've been having a bit of fun this week, just playing about in the snow, and yeah, just being silly really. They can't do a lot of serious work in this weather, not with horses. Yeah, it can be a bit frustrating, but we managed to get them out every day so far. I'm not too sure about tomorrow, because I think tonight's meant to be something silly like -10 or something. So if it's really treacherous, they'll have to stay in, or we might get to walk them out in hand, maybe. I saw a good thing, which I'm going to try, to keep the snow out of the shod horses' feet, wrapping the feet in vet wrap. Sounds like a good idea. I'll give it a go. Stop the balls of snow getting all stuck in their feet and creating stilts, which we don't want. The ones that are not shod are not a problem really, but yeah, I'll give that a go tomorrow. I think if we have to lead them out in hand, otherwise it could be a bit dangerous and they might have to stay in. From having the welfare in mind, obviously the more they can move the better, but you've got to also weigh that up with injuries. So you can only do what you can, and try and keep them warm and keep them happy. They've got opportunity to move around their stables quite a lot, because they've got quite big stables, so they're very lucky. And so it's not too much of a problem for a week. We can manage. But yeah, it's beautiful day today. I'll just turn the camera around, if I know how to do that. No, I don't, it turns out. Oh, look at the sky. It's just so bright blue. It's amazing. Could be anywhere. So yeah, it's really difficult to keep to a routine, isn't it, when things like this happen? You can't do your usual things, and it leaves you sometimes a little bit lost. So yeah, how to keep your motivation and keep focus on what you can do. So I've still been doing quite a lot of online stuff with my exercise, and I meet up with Pilates teachers and they do a HIIT class. So I was doing one last night, and I have to say I wasn't that enthusiastic to start with, because I hadn't done anything much with exercise over the weekend, so I've been too busy. So last night I was thinking, oh, I can't really be bothered, and I'll do it anyway, out of just guilt, I think. And straight away it's a completely different feeling. Soon as I started, it was fun, it was it was engaging, and they're so good anyway. The people I use that I meet up with used to be a local to me when I lived in Buntingford in Hertfordshire. So Jackie Smith is her name, personal trainer, and Danny is her sidekick, and Danny is just amazing at the hit stuff and dance, and she's so energetic, and Jackie's so knowledgeable. She gives you so many tips and different ways to do things, because lots of people, different ages, injuries and all sorts. So if she's got a way of doing something that doesn't suit you, but it suits someone else, an easier version, a harder version, they're very good, both of them, at explaining everything and how to do it. So I found that really, really amazing, how you can stay busy and motivated in your own home, which is even better. So I think that's an improvement on actually bothering to go to a class. I think I'll stick with that and dance around in the living room instead. So that was really good. That did actually make me feel better as soon as I'd done that, and I feel like that's something you can do. Lockdown can't stop that. I can meet up as many times as we like. I've got online stuff which we can catch up with on YouTube as well. So that's something I can do, and keep busy when I can't ride as well. So that's a good one. Online tutorials, DVDs, that's not what I mean. What do I mean? CPDs, that's the one. CPD stuff, and just getting involved with any online stuff. I particularly follow certain things that interest me with my work and coaching, so anything coaching related, and also the biomechanics of people and horses, and everything in between. I'm interested in all of that. Having trained to do massage therapy on people and horses, I've got some interest in all those areas, which can only enhance the coaching, I think. When I'm standing in front of somebody and I'm watching everything they're doing, I'm looking at the rider, I'm looking at the horse, I'm looking at the combination of the two, what they're trying to achieve. So the more I know about that and how the interactions work, the better. So I'm learning all I can about all aspects of movement and biomechanics. Recently just hooked up with David Sanders online, who's the neuromechanics coach. So he's using an approach where he's looking at the neuromechanics of biological movement. So obviously it's still movement and the biomechanics of that, but looking at the brain interaction with how you move and your movement patterns. So that's really interesting. Look him up, the neuromechanics coach. He's doing offers at the moment for riders and coaches, so that you can learn as much as you can about improving your rider symmetry. I'm already working with Andy Thomas from the Test process. He's a physiotherapist, and he's been working with riders for over 15 years all over the world, from grassroots to top level. And he's created a course for coaches that he's never done before. So he's doing this at the moment. We're not sure when we're going to finish because of the interactions that we might need to have and we can't have at the moment, so due to COVID. But we're getting in contact online, and that's really interesting. So I'm on his first ever group of coaches to complete the Test certified coaches course, where I will be able to just use some techniques that he's been able to create over the years to really help people become more symmetrical and be aware of the body, proprioception of where you are at in any given space and time, and that you can control your body independently, and that's really the key. A part of your body wants to be, maybe doing something that is not helpful, it's not useful, but it's all automatic, and it's tuning into those things that we do subconsciously which are not helping our riding, and then trying to tune into things that will help our riding and learn to move in a more effective way. So yeah, it's all very interesting, and there's a lot of CPD stuff around, and there's a lot of things you can get involved in. Another person who I've done some work with, who's absolutely fantastic to follow, is Gillian Higgins. If you're interested in the horses' biomechanics and their interaction with the rider, but also just their own movement, that she's done so many videos, online tutorials, and say you can join in with all sorts. We've even got a colouring book from Gillian, which is fantastic. So she is Horses Inside Out, which I'm sure you've probably heard of, and she paints the anatomy on the horses, and I've actually been involved in doing that, which was really fun. A few years ago now, I went to Hartpury to meet her, and we were painting horses for her lecture demo for the evening. Roy and I, my partner Roy, and I'm not artistic at all, but luckily all we had to do was colour in between the lines, so I could do that. She did the actual drawing. She's very talented as an artist too, and I've got some pictures of hers, and yeah, we just coloured in. So that was fantastic. It was great fun. It was a really rainy day as well, so we were inside painting horses, which was fun. But the way that she manages to explain everything, by doing it that way, it becomes so obvious how things connect, and watching the horse move, I think, when it's painted is just outstanding. I mean, it is just fascinating, and some of the slow-mo videos that she's made is just absolutely brilliant. So you could definitely go and investigate that. I would recommend that, definitely. She's got a lot of books out and videos as well. So yeah, keep them busy, keep them motivated, and just do what you can. When you can't ride your horse, you can learn more about how to ride your horse, and the things that we can catch up on when we've got this downtime. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, rather than looking at what you can't do, and that's frustrating, I know. But yeah, look at what you can do instead. I suppose really my motivational switch has been sort of turned on, if you like, from having done this Centre 10 course, which I'm still on, and I've actually got more work to do this week now, so I'm going to look into what we've got to cover this week. Every week we get a new topic or an extra part to a topic, and it's fascinating stuff. Looking into your mental skills, and how you can improve them, and identify weaknesses where you may be hindering yourself without even realizing it. You know, you're not always giving yourself the best chance you can to achieve something you're physically perfectly capable of. But if your mental attitude, mindset and understanding is not in the right place at the right time, then that can be a real hindrance. Here's some videos of us messing about the other day with a plastic bag and a very small hill.